Good evening, welcome back to the FPL Kneejerk stream. Gameweek 34, we're looking towards, obviously Gameweek 33 has just finished, hopefully, it hasn't just finished, that is a complete and utter lie, and I apologise. It hasn't finished, we've got one more game to go, which is Everton versus Spurs. Just to top off how bad the game week's gone from the start, internet also looks like it's doing awful, but what is new, what is up, how are you doing? Is Andy in the top 1,000 yet? Not quite. In the top 200,000? Not quite. In fact, it's actually a pretty rubbish week for me. It's going to be a green arrow probably, but it's a small one. Yeah, lagging. I don't know why. Internet's rubbish tonight for no reason. Does this all the time. Yeah, winds me up. Anyway, we'll just have to keep going. Hopefully, it won't be too bad. Have a drink every time every time Andy mentions Man United. That could be a lot. Man United, the only team you can rely on now, to be honest. Man City, rubbish. Liverpool, rubbish. Man United, amazing. Yeah, look, if it's lagging, it's lagging. There's nothing I can do. Honestly, if it's that annoying, I would recommend just not watching. There's nothing I can do to try and change it, to be honest. It is what it is. Where I live sucks. Jesus was so unlucky tonight. I feel like he probably deserved to get something. It just didn't fall right for him. So many chances, so few goals, and he got that yellow card from being so frustrated. But yes, it is my birthday today. Thanks for everyone that's saying happy birthday in the chat. Make sure putting my team on the screen does not make any difference to the lag, I'm afraid. Thanks to everyone saying that in the chat. So I mean, as it's my birthday, you might as well give the stream a like, right? If you're ever going to give the stream a like, it's got to be today. Let's get that up as high as we can at the start. Okay, I'll put my team on screen. Ta-da! It's not going to stop the lag, though, I'm afraid. But yeah, I mean, I got the captaincy right. Oh, that's wrong. Hang on. Let me refresh it. You want to see Kevin De Bruyne and Mahrez' 1-pointers. Yeah. It was okay. I captained my highest scoring player, which you can't go wrong with, I guess. Because it was a Man United player, everyone owns them now. Didn't really go up that high. And obviously Salah getting the assist, Mane scoring today, De Bruyne and Mahrez was really the key player for me today. And he went off before 60. Absolute killer. Why don't I cover that? Danny Ings. Danny fixture-proof Ings. No points today. But he is fixture-proof, so maybe we'll get some points added on later on tonight. Helped me with 3 leagues last year. Congratulations. Thank you very much. The cakes were good. There's still some left. Not too many though. Birthday beers. I had too many yesterday. Not too many, but I had a few yesterday. I'm feeling a bit hungover today. And I've got to go to the gym in the morning. So I can't have any drinks tonight. No drinks tonight. Not really celebrating FPL. So I'm on 6. So basically, okay, let's keep going, I guess, and talk about FPL. It is so hot in here, by the way. I forgot to open the window. It's too late now. Yeah, I mean, Foster, I mean, he was playing Chelsea, so I wasn't expecting any points, but he's just rubbish. I mean, he got 6 saves, which is good. But that was about it, really. Egan's so frustrating. So frustrating. I did consider playing him. Like, everyone told me to play Sice. I knew I was not going to play Sice against Arsenal. So it was between Taylor and Egan. I thought Burnley had been quite good, and obviously Taylor kind of covers the Pope clean sheet as well. And I would always bet on Pope getting a clean sheet at home, especially to Sheffield United. So when I saw that they were winning 1-0, because I didn't get to watch the game, I thought happy days. And then when I saw they conceded, I thought, well, that's not that bad, I guess. It's only Taylor. People have got Pope as well. So it's not the end of the world. And then I saw that it was Egan that had scored. Like, what is the chances? Come on, look. Somebody would have tweeted me, why did you not play Egan? I mean, come on. Fair enough, he's got a bit more goal threat than Taylor, but I thought Burnley might pick up the clean sheet there. There's 1-1. Like, I don't think I can be too harsh on myself for not playing Egan. But yeah, should have played him. McCarthy, there's no way I'm beating myself up about McCarthy. Man City should have scored multiple times tonight. Look, Southampton were good, but Man City should have still won that game. Simple as. Jesus should have scored a few times. I will say, I don't know what Pep was doing. I mean, I never know what Pep's doing. But taking off Mahrez and Sterling, like, even forget about FPL, forget that I own Mahrez. Just maybe take off one of them, fair enough, whether it's Mahrez or Sterling. But to take off both was a bit weird, I thought. Especially, they were on the up at that point as well. Get De Bruyne and Foden on for maybe both the Silvers or one of David or Bernardo Silva plus one of Sterling Mahrez. But to take off both, bit of a mistake. But still, they should have still won that game. Maguire should be on 0 after that nutmeg. Yeah, that was frustrating. But another 5 goals. The funny thing is, I mean, it is going to depend on what Calvert-Lewin does tomorrow. But, you know, I talked about that. I think I briefly talked about the 8-point hit. So Maguire, Calvert-Lewin, and the transfer I made anyway, Hayden to Mahrez. So basically I would have done Maguire and Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood and Van Dijk. So Van Dijk got the clean sheet. Greenwood scored twice. That hit would have probably paid off, even for a -8. Given that Calvert-Lewin probably won't do much tomorrow. And Maguire got 1 point. So I could have done that. So I don't know what to do about that now. Greenwood obviously is in a bit of a hot streak right now. It's a nice finishing. Is Jimenez becoming a worry? I don't know if it's a worry. I don't worry. Do you know, I'm not really worrying too much about the strikers simply because who do I even bring in? Can't get Greenwood. Who else is there? Apart from Harry Kane, of course. So I'm not really worried. It's not like they're blocking me. It's not like Jimenez and Calvert-Lewin are blocking me from getting the midfielders I want. Or the defenders I want, really. So it's a bit worrying he hasn't scored the last couple, but can he put that right in the next game, potentially? Greenwood for... I got to be honest, as harsh as it sounds, I don't have too much sympathy for people that bench Greenwood because he's playing Bournemouth at home. So, should have played him. I know people have probably got him as an 8th attacker, a bit like I've got Nketiah, and it's very easy to bench Nketiah, but you've got to play Greenwood against Bournemouth at home, especially the form Man United are in. Didn't start McCarthy versus Man City, what a casual. So, didn't captain Salah either. Like, basically, I switched my captaincy. I can't remember who it was on the last stream, to be honest. But I was going between Martial and Fernandes. I went back to Fernandes. Basically, in my head, I was saying that Fernandes is the best option, but because I'd switched it twice, I was like, can I really do that again? I thought, screw it, I'm just switching it back. In the end, obviously, it only mattered by like 1 or 2 points. But I think if I'm captain Man United player going forward, it will always be Bruno, basically. It was Calvert-Lewin or Greenwood. I mean, hindsight, of course, but if I could have made the transfer of Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood, I would have. So I would have definitely played Greenwood ahead of Calvert-Lewin. But look, I'm not trying to like rub it in. I just, I don't know. I don't think benching Greenwood against Bournemouth was... I mean, if you're a big fan of expected goals and stuff, the shots that Greenwood had were quite low at XG, but at the same time, they were pretty nice finishes. So why am I not keeping polls? I can't. There are no polls anymore on Facebook. Basically, I could do them outside of that, but I know we'll see at some point. Is Vardy back on the menu with Bournemouth upcoming? Have you not seen my Bournemouth transfer strategy that I spoke about on the last stream? Talk about my transfers in a minute. Is it time to sell Salah perhaps? I'm strongly considering selling Salah. Strongly considering it. Not off the back of today, because I a few people saying that my transfer thoughts are next for Gameweek 34 are Kneejerk, but I've already talked about these a couple of times. So I could still do the Maguire move. Let me bring up my team for next week. I'm sick of seeing Egan on the bench. I mean, if Ben Foster does not get a clean sheet this week, I don't even know what to say. The De Bruyne sub really hurt the rank. I got to be honest, it probably really helped my rank, so I was quite happy to see him come on. So this is my setup for next week as it stands. So I'm still eyeing up Maguire and Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood plus a defender, probably Van Dijk. But is it worth a -4 to take Calvert-Lewin out versus Southampton and Maguire, who has kept a lot of clean sheets? And I think Villa were good today against Liverpool. I don't think it'll be so easy against Man United. They did defend very well, though. Villa only conceded 3 shots in the box today against Liverpool. I know Liverpool weren't great, but you got to give some credit to Aston Villa's defending. So, got to captain Bruno. I don't know. As soon as I saw Kevin De Bruyne was on the bench, I went and put captaincy on him. Because Man City have been... I know they were bad today. Well, they weren't even bad. They should have scored. They should have scored a few goals. You've got to imagine that De Bruyne will start the next game for sure. So I've got my captaincy on him. Is Villa such a good game now for Man United as it was maybe before lockdown? Probably not as good. So I've currently got it on Kevin De Bruyne. That might change back to Fernandes. That's who it between. I don't know. Salah against Brighton is probably quite a good fixture. But I'm not captaining Salah for the rest of the season pretty much, I don't think. Saints are underrated. I'm not saying but let's be honest. Southampton are good. Southampton defense is solid. Not sure about solid. It's good, but Man City should have scored today. Simple as that. There's no questions about it. On another day, they scored 2, 3, 4 goals. Maybe not 4. That's a bit harsh, but they should have scored today. William Jones, how's it going? Thanks very much. Hi. Is Dubravka to Pope for a free a good move? Is Dubravka to Pope? I mean, I'd rather have Pope. Let's just say that. If you've really got nothing else to do, you just got to think about how many points is that going to get you by the end of the season. Is there not a better transfer you could make? Maybe. So I don't know about that. as a single question, like literally not considering anything else, is that a good move? Yeah, but there might be more. They went out to defend against Liverpool and still conceded 2. I'm not disagreeing with anyone that wants to captain Fernandes. I just might captain De Bruyne. And to be honest, De Bruyne will probably be somewhat of a differential captain. So I might just go for him. The only problem is, if Fernandes does really well and he outscores De Bruyne again, his effective ownership will be over 100% in the top 10k, and probably for a lot of the active players. So it'll really hurt. Saints put their bodies on the line. I respect and I support them. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a bad result. I'm not saying Southampton shouldn't be happy, but Man City should have scored. Simple as that. What do I think of Pulisic? Fun stat. Pulisic's last 3 assists have all come from him being fouled. Danny, thanks very much. Thanks for everyone for the birthday wishes. It feels weird streaming on my birthday because usually, obviously, the league is finished by this time of the season. So I usually have this time off. Usually, actually, FPL's about now is usually restarting or going live or whatever. So it's weird to still be through the season and doing it, but it's been a pretty weird year, to be fair. Is Eric Garcia nailed? No, I don't think so. Do I consider taking out Mahrez? Absolutely not. Pulisic, I think Pulisic's fine. I like Pulisic. I think he's a good option. I do think in recent weeks, maybe by myself at times, he's been kind of made out to be like this must-own, absolutely essential player. But I mean, it's Crystal Palace away and Sheffield United away and Liverpool away in the next 4. They're not great fixtures. You know, a scores of 7, 7, 8 and 6. Has he maybe done enough to deserve more of a higher score than that? Potentially. I'm not against him, but I could do it. Your team is priming for Calvert-Lewin to Kane and Salah to Pulisic. Yeah, I can absolutely do that. Seb, absolute legend. Loving the content. Good man. Oh, by the way, I watched your video where your dad got to meet the grandson. I can't believe it was a bit of a coincidence. I was kind of cutting onions at the same time. What a coincidence that was. Be interesting to see the turnaround from season end to new season. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You'd have to think that it's going to come virtually straight back up, wouldn't you? Go down and then back up. Which would be amazing. I'd be happy not to have a break, to be honest. Sorry, what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Calvert-Lewin to Kane and Salah to Pulisic. I've considered that. I'll be honest, these are my transfer considerations, right? There's a lot, and a lot's going to depend on tomorrow's game. I'll talk about Willian in a sec. So Maguire and Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood. Or to be fair, I could just do Maguire and Nketiah, but Maguire and I don't want to give myself a headache, right? But Maguire and Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood and Van Dijk, probably Van Dijk, is an option. -4. Go triple Man United attack. Just for fun more than anything else. Otherwise, it is Salah. I could go Salah to Pulisic. I could go Salah to Foden. I could go Salah to Son, who plays Bournemouth next. I know people aren't liking Son at the moment, but that Bournemouth fixture looks good. So I could just do those moves without anything else. Or, like pointed out by Fozzie, Salah to someone to fund Calvert-Lewin to Kane. I can actually do Nketiah and Salah to Foden and Kane to give me 8 attackers, but I don't want the headache, to be honest. And it leaves you a bit less flexible. So I'm probably my other transfer really is Salah and Pulisic or Foden. I actually think I'd probably go towards Foden, to be honest. Just take that punt. Have triple Man City midfield. And then Calvert-Lewin to Kane. And I know people don't like Kane, but he scored the last 2 games. Let's see what he's like against Everton. Bournemouth a really good fixture. And then it will give me a chance, the next game, if Bournemouth really do look that bad, to do Kane to Vardy. And just target Bournemouth. I'm honestly thinking of doing that because I'm not going to captain Salah this week. Like I said last week, I think the problem isn't necessarily that I think Salah's going to get rotated every other week. It's I think Liverpool will make some changes to their team. Like they just played today. They've got to play again on Wednesday. And that will affect the team as a whole. And they're just not performing that well either the last couple of games. Brighton and Burnley, decent fixtures. But then it's Arsenal-Chelsea. So I'm very tempted to get rid of Salah. I'm not going to captain him the next 2 weeks. I think this week it will be De Bruyne or Fernandes. And then in game week 35, I can't remember who they're playing. Man United got Southampton, and Man City have Brighton themselves. So I'll probably look at rotation there. And if in doubt, I'll just stick it back on Fernandes and hope that Nick Pope gets a clean sheet against Mo Salah. Because I know people worry about the Liverpool attack, but I don't have Mane already, and that never seems to be an issue when someone looks at my team. So why is not having Salah any different, you know? Even I've seen your team now and can't believe you didn't captain Bruno again. I did captain Bruno last week, in game week 33. Sorry, the one we're still in. I don't know. De Bruyne captain against Newcastle. Will they bounce back? Like I said, they should have scored today. It would have been different if De Bruyne was on the pitch from the start as well. But yeah, I don't know about Salah. We'll see. Sometimes I say I'm thinking about a transfer and I already know I'm going to do it. I just haven't done it yet. I'm pretty sure I'm going to own Kane for game week 34. That's all I'm saying. Christian, thanks very much for that. Much appreciated. Great show, and I follow your Twitter account as well. It's good. I tell you, on my Twitter account, I need to tweet less. I am a bit tweet happy. But hopefully there's some good stuff in between all the rubbish. What price do I think Foden will get next season? Go Keita. I hope you're not telling me to get Keita in. No chance. What price do I think Foden will probably get? Like a 7.5, I reckon. Something like that, 7.5, because he won't be a guaranteed first 11 starter. The only thing I would say is, because he's getting more minutes than the rest of the season now, and they can see how well he's performing, if there's a chance they think he's a first 11 player next year, maybe you'll get like an 8, probably like an 8 or 8.5. But I could see like a 7.5 maybe. The problem is they've really upped the pricing in the recent years, because if you price if Foden's not a first team player, then in a few seasons ago he'd probably get like a 6 or a 6.5 million price tag. The problem is, as soon as someone gets injured and he becomes first 11, then it's an easy buy for everyone. So they try and avoid that. So I don't think it'd be that low, 7.5, but I could see an 8.5 maybe. But thanks for that, Christian. Christian, yeah. Matt, thanks very much. Who to bench out of Jimenez, Ings, Salah, and Mahrez? Oh, this is why I hate benching headaches. This is why I hate it. If you're going to keep all them, I wouldn't bench Salah 100%. I wouldn't bench Ings against Everton, I don't think. Then it's Jimenez or Mahrez. I mean, Mahrez has got more upside if he starts. It depends whether you think he's going to start that Newcastle game, though. But then benching Jimenez, that doesn't sound right either. But it is Sheffield United. If we think they all start, I'd probably bench Jimenez. But I don't like that. Now, Foden will never be 6.5. It's too cheap for the reasons I just said. In my opinion. Could be wrong. But 6.5 is just too cheap. Jaburn, happy birthday. Thanks very much. Cheers for all the content. Legend. Thank you. I was going to have a few beers tonight, but honestly, I need to get back into gym mode from tomorrow. I've already been a couple of times last week just to get back used to going. So I can't. Problem is I never have just one or two. It's always like 4, 5, 6. Is Garcia worth a pick? I don't personally think so. It's just no guarantee he starts every week. City defence not looking exactly rock solid either. I don't know, just not sure there's enough upside in buying someone like Garcia, to be honest. So not for me. By the way, shout out to Martinez, Arsenal, 4.2 million. Don't overthink it. He's 4.2 million. Just get him. 3 weeks ago. And since then, he got 3 clean sheets. And one of them's against Wolves. Absolutely ridiculous. Foden or Mahrez if you had to choose. I mean, this is pretty much the same as that question last week. When I say weeks, you know what I mean. I'm talking game weeks, right? Before this game week, everyone said Mahrez instead of Foden because Mahrez didn't start the last game. Well, that's going to be the same now. Everyone's going to be drawn towards Foden because he didn't start. So you think he would definitely start the next one. But over the course of the season, I'd probably still go Mahrez, but I do think Foden is a great option. And I may bring him in this week. This is what I'm going to look at. By the way, slight side note here. Doesn't the team just look much nicer when it's got 5 in midfield? That's all I wanted to say. Okay. So this is what I'm going to look at. I'm so thirsty. I had Domino's for dinner. Every time I have Domino's, I regret it. I just get such a dry mouth after. And they cocked the order up. Absolute nightmare. First world problems. Thought I'd let you know that. So Foden, and then Sir Harry Kane, and 2.8 million in the bank. That's what I'm considering. Now, I could get Pulisic. I'm not saying I won't get Pulisic, but I might just go the triple Man City attack and just worry about whoever else next week. Like, we've only got 5 weeks left now. There's no point, especially at my rank, there's no point massively worrying. Whether or not that's worth a -4, though. A -4 to take Salah out versus Brighton, when you say it out loud, doesn't sound very good, especially when Calvert-Lewin's got Southampton at home, who have been good, but Calvert-Lewin to Greenwood, Maguire to Laporte. Now, if I was going to get rid of Maguire, I'd probably get Van Dijk, not Laporte. How did it mess up your Domino's order? Well, I'm glad you asked, because obviously this is an FPL stream and we like to talk about Domino's. And that sounds sarcastic, but it's not. So I always go for the Meteor, all the meats. I took off like 2 of them. I think it was like the ham and something else, and put on chorizo and tandoori chicken instead of like the normal chicken or whatever. And we have to drive like half an hour to go and get it, and half an hour back. I didn't go and get it, but that's what we have to do. Got it back, opened it up. Peppers, red onions, green red peppers, red onions, mushrooms, pineapple, with all the meat I'd ordered. So they just added all the other stuff on. Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful. I will say, I'm getting a refund for it, and I still ate it. But I took everything off apart from the sweet corn. But it's quite nice with that. So there you go. Are you going to stick with 1 Man United defender or go with 3 Man United attack? I don't know. Like I could do the Maguire to Greenwood move for a -4, but then I just think it's a little bit passive almost. Like, are we going to put another 5? Like, I've got to remind myself what our fixtures are. Villa, Southampton at home, Crystal Palace away, West Ham at home. Like, I see us winning all 4 of those games. Southampton will be tricky though, and Crystal Palace could be tricky too. And West Ham are even in a bit of form at the moment. Although they did draw obviously with Newcastle, but in terms of being able to score goals, they're doing quite well at the moment. So what is it? Playing Grealish and co, playing Danny Ings, playing Bowen and Antonio. Can Maguire get a few clean sheets? I think he probably can. Are we going to smash those teams? Not 100% convinced about that. So do I need triple attack? I don't know. I think for this week, obviously against Bournemouth, it looked really good. I just don't know if that's an attacking enough move. I think going Foden and Kane is just a little bit more exciting, to be honest, than getting Greenwood in. Rashford or Greenwood? I said this last week. I think out of all, I haven't really changed my opinion. Out of all 5 attackers, I still think Greenwood is the one who could at some point get rotated. But while they're all fully fit, while they're winning games with relative ease, I mean, you still conceded 2 goals to Bournemouth, which is not good. But when you're winning with relative ease, why would Solskjaer change it? So I think Greenwood's a pretty decent choice right now. Now Rashford was good. Like there was obviously that chance where Wan-Bissaka crossed the ball, and it was like ruled offside. But from another angle, I'm not sure. I'm not sure it probably was. It was very, very close either way. He could have had another goal. And obviously, he's put the penalty thing to bed. I'm expecting to see Fernandes take the next one, then maybe Rashford take the one after that. So that's obviously good for him too. So I like Rashford, but it's hard to look past Greenwood when he's so much cheaper. So it depends. It depends, really, what else you can do with that money. Probably, even money aside, I'd maybe just go Greenwood right now while he's on this hot streak. Ryan Shaw, thanks very much. Salah and Nketiah for Kane and Foden. I don't know. I mean, I feel like more and more people are going to ask about this move because I'm doing it as well, and obviously I've talked about it. And maybe people are looking at that Kane fixture because of Bournemouth. The only thing I would say about Kane, and I'm genuinely looking at doing it, but if it's for a hit, there's every chance Salah could get a goal or 2 against Brighton. And Kane hasn't been in great form for most of the season. It hasn't really looked like, came back to his best. I think he's looked okay since the restart. Let's see what happens against Everton. So As a 2, I think I prefer Kane and Foden just about Salah and Nketiah, but I don't think there's a huge amount in it, because especially if you're not having to play Nketiah, if he's just a bench fodder, then it's really just Salah versus Kane. Foden probably will start the next game, so I think he's decent enough. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I'm a bit put off. I'm a bit put off by kind of recommending this transfer, because I know in the back of my mind I don't think it's a dead cert. I'm not 100% confident in it, but I'm also excited to do it. So I need to back myself really. So yeah, I quite like it. I think Salah is less valuable if you're not going to captain him. But I also don't agree with why do you have a 12 odd million pound player if you're not going to captain him. I don't necessarily agree with that. Kane's still not looking sharp in my opinion. He had the ball in the back of the net 4 times. The good thing about Son is you can do that for free. Do Salah to Son for free. So that is an option. I don't think though, I haven't worked out the money. Let's say I went for Son instead. Nah, I can't. I was seeing if I could afford Jesus instead, but no. I cannot. Only 9.2 million to spend. So something like that. Yeah, I don't know. If I get Kane, I have to captain him. Disagree with that, to be honest. I mean, De Bruyne is not that much more expensive than him, so why does it have to be Kane? If Kane does well against Bournemouth, yeah, okay, if I captain him, that's a huge differential, but having him is going to be differential enough, I think. I don't know if I'm that confident, even though it's Bournemouth. Honestly, Domino's, what is it? Have I just eaten too much or what? My mouth gets so dry. It's horrible. Maybe it's because I always eat it when I'm hungover. That first goal my grandma saves. Well, get her to be signed up. Get her a contract. You don't need all the money at the moment with so many cheap players. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I'm not really worried about how much money's in the bank. That's why if I get Foden, I'll have 2.8 million. I'm not looking to particularly spend it anywhere. What else have we got? Do you think it's worth to downgrade the likes of Trent or Doherty to make upgrades up front in midfield? I mean, that's a very broad question. Maybe, depending on who the transfer, I guess. People suddenly going off Doherty a little bit. I mean, Sheffield United away, Everton at home, Burnley away, Crystal Palace at home for Wolves. I mean, that screams a good few clean sheets for me. And if you can get some attacking returns along the way, I still think he looks quite good. And obviously, Trent again returns today, clean sheet. Just keeps on going for it. It's all the salt. It could be all the salt. It's probably got a lot. I appreciate the chanting my name in the chat for the birthday, but you don't need to spam it. Domino's is salty. It's all about Papa John's. There is a Papa John's even closer though. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'll stop eating Domino's. I mean, to be fair, that's the first Domino's I've had for about 2 or 3 years. So 3 Man United attackers doesn't seem too good for Aston Villa away, right? Yeah, I don't know if I'd rather have a defender, but I don't know if 3 attackers looks as essential as it maybe did against Bournemouth. Would you go Vardy and Son in for Mane and Jimenez for a -4, or just Mane out for Son Sterling? Jimenez for Vardy. I mean, you're going for Vardy based off one game, right? Who have Leicester even got this week? I know it's Bournemouth next week. They have got Arsenal away. Vardy in for a hit. It doesn't sound against Arsenal, who have just kept 3 clean sheets. Not a side. Not a side. I'm not sure about that one. Stats aside, Pulisic passes the eye test. He's the one on the radar. I'm not against Pulisic. I don't know. I kind of told myself that I was going to go for Man City players over this run. And so Foden versus Pulisic. Man City can just rack up such huge scores. And Chelsea don't really do that often. Granted, they did score 3 this week, but still. Galway is an amazing city. Fully agree. Actually, I went into town on Saturday. I thought it's quite quiet. Obviously, a lot of people still staying at home. That's the first time I've been in town for ages. Probably will be the last time for a few more weeks. Then I also thought it's probably because there's hardly any tourists around. I thought this is what Galway is like without tourists. Just a bit more quiet. It's quite nice in some regards, but obviously it sucks because so many places rely on that tourist trade. It's the rotation with Foden that worries me. There's always going to be rotation with Man City players, though. Like Kevin De Bruyne is being rotated. We're not worried about getting him out. I just think the upside's so big. The thing is, Maguire, Trent, and Sice. Who does Sheffield United even have? I can't remember what their fixtures are like. Wolves at home, Chelsea at home, Leicester away, not great. Then Everton at home, Southampton away. So, I mean, Sheffield United's fixtures aren't amazing, but I guess I can hold Egan. Burnley have some okay fixtures towards the end. Maguire I can just play every week. Trent I can play every week. And Sice for Wolves I can pretty much play him every week as well. So there's not really a defender I feel like I'm missing right now. So all my transfers are just for attack. So I feel like with only 5 weeks to go, I can do a few kind of luxury transfers where I'm not worried about holding players longer term. So if I bring Foden in and then I don't know, I think he gets benched the next game. Maybe I could just bring Pulisic in. Or whatever, or whoever it might be. Maybe Antonio or Bowen. They're options as well for West Ham instead of Pulisic. I was saying to someone on Twitter earlier, it always feels like at some stage of the season, Antonio becomes an option. So Burnley, Norwich, Watford and West Ham in their last 5 games. So maybe Antonio is even a good option. After bashing Willian last stream, another penalty, 3-3. I know, people bash Willian for set pieces, but no, De Bruyne is a great option because he's on set pieces as well as just being great. Fernandes is a great option because he's on set pieces as well as just being great. Willian's getting set pieces. And you know who's winning them? Pulisic. Pulisic's just getting fouled. Pulisic has all these people wanting him. He's just getting fouled for assists. That's it. Antonio is the Maverick pick. Maybe I'll go Antonio instead of Foden and Pulisic. But yeah, that's kind of my plan. Just roll with it. You gotta roll with it. Azpilicueta is a differential. Yeah, maybe, but I don't want to make defender transfer at the moment. I'm pretty happy with the team. With the defence. What to do with Mahrez? He's not starting with Foden in the team. I mean, the thing is, he could start. Everyone thinks Mahrez is suddenly not going to start, but he could. Willian's the greatest option at Chelsea. No, I'm only messing. Willian would never get anything from open play. It's a bit harsh. You could be right, but it's a bit harsh. Calvert-Lewin and Traore to Greenwood and Pulisic. I mean, that sounds great. Excuse me. Because Traore is not a guaranteed starter. And Calvert-Lewin... Well, let's see what Calvert-Lewin's like tomorrow, but I'm not expecting to suddenly become like a world beater again. I also think it's been a bit harsh on Calvert-Lewin. He's not been that bad. Especially for his price. So I don't know. I think the thing with Calvert-Lewin, all he's got to do is score against Spurs, and suddenly people are like, "Oh yeah, I can just hold him for Southampton at home." Feels like you need to free up Maguire's spot to get 3 United attack. Yeah, I'm probably not going to do that, to be honest. I'm just going to stick with Martial and Fernandes and hope we get some more clean sheets. Way too much tunnel vision on Pulisic, your weakness. I mean, I literally could have bought Pulisic in last week and didn't, and I literally could bring him in this week, and I probably won't. So I don't know if I've got tunnel vision on Pulisic, to be honest. The Spurs player that scores big this week will be the big rank difference maker. Well, Villa weren't that poor defensively, and United assets will be the largest captain. Yeah, I don't really like backing against Man United, to be honest, especially when we're in this good form. Not really backing against them, but just going for a different captaincy. I don't know, I just think putting a captain on Kane is just maybe a little bit of a step too far. But who knows? Aubameyang and Grealish out for Foden and Kane. Yeah, I mean, I really don't like Grealish as an option right now, to be honest. So I quite like that. But again, you could just do Grealish to Foden for free and keep Aubameyang. The only defence transfer you might look at is Gameweek 36 if Alonso starts versus Norwich. Yeah, maybe, but then... I don't know, you guarantee they keep starting. I just think Chelsea defence not really that good in general. I feel like they're always likely to concede. I don't know. Norwich have got the deadline game every week till the season end. Their fixtures aren't actually that bad though. Because when I did my Bournemouth plan, like targeting Bournemouth. People said, what about Norwich? But if you look at the teams Norwich play, like who... let's look at the two sets of fixtures, right? So if Bournemouth's fixtures, the players you could target. They play Spurs, you got Son and Kane. They play Leicester, you got Vardy. They play Man City, we got everyone. De Bruyne, Jesus, Mahrez, Foden. They play Southampton, Danny Ings. They play Everton, Richarlison, and Calvert-Lewin. They're players you would maybe want in your team or maybe want to target for attackers. But then Norwich, you try and do the same thing. Watford, they're awful. West Ham, okay, yeah, fair enough. Antonio Bowen, maybe. Chelsea, Pulisic. Burnley, meh. And then City on the last day of the season, but everyone's going to have Man City players anyway. I mean, it'd be nice to get some early team news for that one. That could be key, in fact. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see. It's going to be a crazy deadline stream, that, actually. Don't know what the actual plans for that will be yet, but we will see. We will see. Actually, what is that, a Sunday? I hope that is. It is a Sunday, isn't it? Happy days. Ugh. As Razak, thanks very much. Mane and Calvert-Lewin out for Son and Vardy. Or Kane plus Mane and Calvert-Lewin out to Son and Vardy. Oh, or Kane and Pulisic -4. When other people ask me about taking out Liverpool players for -4s, I don't know. Suddenly I get a bit wary about saying go for it, even though I might do the same. I think I prefer Kane and Pulisic, to be honest. I think Kane has looked better than Son since the restart. Maybe some people would disagree. And like Vardy, okay, he's got Bournemouth the week after, but this week is Arsenal. I'm not really expecting too much there. So I think I prefer Kane and Pulisic. Pulisic is like domino. Sounds like a great idea. Causes stress, leaves you disappointed and worse off, and then leaves you salty. That's a great way of summing it up. It's exactly how I feel tonight. I wish I hadn't eaten it. Who will be the first 3 players you put in your FPL team next year? Wan-Bissaka, Martial, Fernandes. Job done. Forget Salah, forget De Bruyne. I'll have Martial as my 9.5 million striker. I'll have Fernandes my 11 million midfielder, and Maguire as my 6 million defender. Job done. That's how much I reckon that'll be. People were actually talking earlier about position changes for next year. I forgot about like Aubameyang. Probably, if FPL keep the way they do it all the time, Aubameyang should be a midfielder for sure. Rashford will go to a midfielder. Martial forward. Antonio probably go back to forward. Could be interesting. Do you think Man United will go and change? Absolutely. I still think, you know, if Greenwood was to get changed, I wouldn't be that shocked. But I do think they'll just go the same again. Trent to Van Dijk, Salah to Son, Calvert-Lewin to Jesus. Nah, it's not happening. -8, not happening. Depends on the first few fixtures. Absolutely not. Those are still the 3 going in. Come on, like you say bias, right? Fair enough. Like, obviously I have to look at the fixtures and the prices, right? But I don't know them right now. But if it's only a month turnaround, Man United are on the up. Maybe they make 1 or 2 transfers in the window. Why would I not want the 3 players that are doing amazing right now? I mean, if anything, it'd be even easier to pick a team because the quick turnaround will know who is in form at the end of the season, etc. Does that mean Kane's a midfielder too? No. He scored 4 goals last week. Leave Harry Kane alone. Greenwood is essential. No, don't think so. He's very good though. Free hit chip left when to use it. I think it's game week 36 or game week 38 at this point. Depending on how many players you've got in your team. Like 36 means you can triple up on Chelsea versus Norwich, especially if you get the early team news. That could be gold. Like, I don't know about bringing in just a Chelsea player just based on that one team sheet for the rest of the season, but for a free hit, it'd be solid. You can split those over 2 weeks. Salah to Son next week. No, but I'd want Son this week for Bournemouth, wouldn't I? Go for form and fitness from the current fixtures. Surely makes next season easier to pick. Yeah, I think so. Kane, what am I thinking? Look, I don't think I can win with Harry Kane. Like, if he does well, I just get told it was a lucky pick. And if he does bad, I'll just get a lot of I told you so's. I mean, I am... Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'll do it. I don't know if I need the hit. I think if it was for someone not playing or someone injured, then it might be a bit easier. But taking out Calvert-Lewin as well probably doesn't need to be done. I could just save a transfer this week. I'm not really in a position where I have to play, where I have to make a transfer. I can probably just hold and maybe make a couple the week after. But I don't know. Feels more fun just to do something, I guess. Oh, sorry. You mean get some this? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. I hear you. Rash is a forward or midfielder next season. Some people have been chatting to me about that. I think he has to be a midfielder, right? He's been playing on the left for virtually the whole season. Jota to Greenwood, Son to Martial. Jota to Greenwood, Son to Martial. I mean, that sounds pretty nice. I mean, let's see what Son plays like tomorrow. Getting rid of him before Bournemouth could hurt, but getting two Man United attackers seems like a good option. Obviously, the one thing to worry about bringing in Spurs players is they did just lose 3-1 to Sheffield United. Not cool. No worries, Paul. Enjoy the stream. It's good fixtures. Would have just banked the transfer. Yeah, I could just bank it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll just make one transfer. I don't know. All I need to see is Son scoring 2 goals and then bam, he's straight in against Bournemouth. Quick tip. If you say answer my question, there's extremely likely chance I'll just purposely not answer it. There's a lot of questions coming in. Can't get to them all. There's 1,000 people watching. Foster outscored Pope. Yeah, I know. Finally. Cheers, Fozzie. Catch you later on. Let's hope he can outscore him next week. I'm putting Taylor third bench. Probably. Can't wait for next season's FPL 4 million defender. Who will it be, though? Thoughts on Lucas Digne? He's racking up the points and got good fixtures. I think Everton, yeah. I mean, they play Danny Ings next. Might not be that easy, but in general, I think Everton's defence is pretty good. Want to play the free hit in 38, but also like the idea of a triple captain on a City player versus Norwich. But you could... Basically, I think 36 and 38 are probably, depending on your team setup, the two best times to play the free hit. And to be honest, you could just play the triple captain in whichever one you don't free hit, because City play Bournemouth in 36 and they play Norwich in 38. So either of those is good triple captaincy. So you can maybe think about that. And as well, if you see, like, I don't know, Sterling or Mahrez miss the next game, like Gameweek in 35, then if you think they're going to play in 36, suddenly they look great triple captaincy options. That's a good question. What date does the next season start? We don't know, but it sounds like it's going to be the start of September. I like people saying, don't answer my question. Reverse psychology. Very clever. Very clever. Mahrez to vote. Look, what? Don't knee-jerk on Mahrez, I think. I mean, it's quite nice for us to own Mahrez that other people are trying to like get rid of him now because of one game. I don't think he's suddenly a bad option. For Gameweek 38, you might get team news better for triple captaincy. Yeah, possibly. That could be true. Bloody lag. Why is it lagging today? It might be the weather. It's very, very windy outside. Yes, that could... I do have internet coming from like an aerial thing on my roof. Bournemouth will beat Spurs away, potentially, yeah. 1.4k overall rank. Very nice. Free hit, I kind of already answered that a few times. Is Bruno Fernandes still a must-have? I mean, we're now 9 games into the Bruno Fernandes era, and he is still top midfielder for points per match with 8.9. That is absolutely insane. Yes, it's a very small sample size, but it's absolutely insane. He got 1 goal, 2 assists, 2 bonus points in a 5-2 win. On another day, it's his turn to take the penalty, and he gets another attack in return and finishes on like 21 points. He is still a great option. He's played 9 times. He's got 4 double-digit hauls. 4. 11 attacking returns in 9 games. Like, what is there not to like? It's insane. It is insane. You have a feeling about Fabianski smashing it in the next few weeks? I am not making another goalkeeper transfer. They have got good fixtures though. Why do I live in Ireland? I moved over here for work, which doesn't matter now because I don't work there, but that's why I moved over. I moved over to work at EA basically. I was sick. I used to work in Currys in England. I was sick of it. And someone said, this job's going in EA in Ireland. So I was like, all right, I'll just move to Ireland. What is there to lose? Turns out 8 years of my life. I haven't lost that, of course. You're just thinking with Hendo, yeah, fair enough. Are you going to leave Egan on the bench again? Probably. Yeah, let's make the same mistake again. Why not? You still have that feeling Maguire will score. Oh, Maguire, just score. Like, honestly. That's one of the reasons I can't get rid of Maguire. If he scores, even if he gets like, well, there's 5 games left. Even if he gets 4 2-pointers and then scores in the last day of the season, I'll be happy, I think. Slab will get a header soon. We'll have to wait and see. Has there ever been a bigger upgrade than Pereira and Lingard to Bruno? No, not at all. What do I? I don't work for EA anymore. I did. Do I like Guinness? Do I like Guinness? I don't mind it. It's never ever my first choice drink though. In fact, I never order it. Let's just say that. Maguire will score the week you ditch him. I know. I mean, you shouldn't play like that. If it was any other defender, I wouldn't think like that. But because it's him, he did score as well. It's even like the hype. I'm watching the Bournemouth game. It's like 92 minutes, and we're still getting corners. I'm like, what if Maguire scores right now? You took a risk and triple captain Martial. Very nicely done. What a goal from him, by the way. What will Joe Linton cost next season? 6.5 maybe. Ings, Cavalier, and Jimenez a real headache. What's the headache about Ings? He's fixture proof according to everyone. Chips and curry sauce or chips and gravy? That depends. It depends what kind of gravy, and to a certain extent, what kind of chips. So, like, you get a KFC, you get some KFC gravy. More than happy to have gravy, not curry sauce. But you go to a chipper, is the gravy as good? Probably not. You're probably better off with some curry sauce. You had Kane, we had the ball in the net 4 times. Ouch. I mean, at least 2 of them should have stood, really. I mean, I know that it shouldn't have stood that handball, but I feel like it should. Do you feel it's harder to nail the captaincy this season? Remember 17-18 when it was fairly easy? I know, but that year it was just Captain Salah every single week. It's a bit different now, isn't it? What's your criteria for deciding whether someone is a flash in the pan or someone worth getting in? Honestly, I think that's genuinely really difficult. Like you have to look at. I know people don't like to hear it, but underlying stats are interesting for that kind of thing. Like have they had a few good chances and put them away, or have they had a few chances that on another day they wouldn't score and they just got a bit lucky? Who do they play for? What's their price? What were their fixtures they've just played in? What are the fixtures coming up? If someone's, I don't know, scored two goals in 4 games and they've played Norwich, Bournemouth, Villa and whoever, and then they've got City, United, I don't know, Watford, Wolves, then it's a bit different. It's difficult though. Sometimes, I don't know, it's a bit like Mahrez and Vardy, for example, when the year Leicester won the league. People got them straight away and they carried on and did really good. People jumped on Pukki this year, did okay for a tiny bit, but then he was rubbish. Was there really a huge amount of difference between the two? I don't know. It's not like anyone expected Leicester to go on and win the league. Sometimes just watching the highlights can be helpful. Yeah, absolutely. Sanchez will be 11.5. Oh, Sancho will be amazing. Let's hope it happens. Greenwood's finishing is exceptional. That's why he's outperforming his expected goals. Yeah, I know, but like he's finishing those chances better than Messi. And let's be honest, as good as Greenwood is, he's not better than Messi, right? And probably never will be. So the thing with I'm not a know-it-all or all knowledgeable about underlying stats and expected goals and stuff, but I think I think a lot of the time, regression's a thing, but how long that takes, who knows? Maybe a player can be on a hot streak for a whole year, and then for the next 2 or 3 seasons, they start regressing. You just don't know. It's just a prediction thing, isn't it? It's just saying that if you play those... It's like Danny Ings has got expected goals of less than 1 over the first 3. All it's saying is you play those 3 games again, he probably doesn't score as many goals. And if he keeps getting those same chances, it will even out. The lag is horrible. Yeah, I get it. It's super frustrating. There's no way I can fix it. I can just keep apologising. It'll be Bruno or De Bruyne or Salah or Mane next year. Yeah, it's going to be tough, but I like it. You know which way I'm going to be drawn to. One key takeaway from my FPL season. Don't get hacked. Better passwords. That'd be my one takeaway. Right. Thanks if you came in from FPL family. I hate to say it, but I'm about to stop the stream. So great timing. Ali Khan sent Maxim to Foden, Antonio, Willian. Not Willian. I think I prefer Foden or Antonio out of those two. Foden, if you want a bit of a roller coaster ride of starts and not starts. Antonio, good form, good fixtures, and all that kind of good stuff. Could you just leave Bruno captain for the rest of the season? You absolutely could. Don't lose the run of yourself, Andy. Messi. I'm literally saying the opposite of what you're saying. I'm saying he's not Messi. Like, come on. If we sign Sancho, do you think you should go straight into the side that has won our last 3 games? Yes. Why does my team name still say restored? I'm just lazy. To be honest, I just haven't changed it. That's it. Don't make your password Fernandez 80. Honestly, don't get the only thing I will say about the hacking is it taught me about password managers. Thanks to Business Cat actually, he was in the chat. He taught me about password managers. That is probably the one upside of getting hacked is I now have a password manager and they are so good. Like I have a different password for every single site. And it's I couldn't even tell you what they are. They're that jumbled up. They're certainly not Fernandez 18. In place of who? It have to be Greenwood, wouldn't it? Like we need strength in depth. You can't just like this teams look good, fine, but what happens when 1 or 2 players gets injured or needs a rest? Do you know what I mean? Look at Man City. Greenwood would have to miss out. Sancho will come in. Yeah, it'd be a bit harsh on Greenwood, but he'd be there to maybe take over from Martial at some point, play instead of Sancho at some point. You need that kind of strength and depth. Right, I'm going to leave it there. I'm knackered. It's 10 o'clock. I'm still a bit hungover. I need to go and drink more water because apparently Domino's pizza is basically salt with a few toppings. And yeah, my mouth's really dry. So I'm going to leave it there. Make sure to give the video a like. Come on, it's my birthday. You got to give it a like. Thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the subscriptions. If you want to check out Patreon, links are in the description below. Follow me on Instagram. I'm trying to hit 3,000 followers soon. That'll be cool. So if you use Instagram, make sure you go and follow me on there. Doing a bunch of stuff, stories, and all that good stuff. Follow me on Twitter as well. Why not? Have a good evening. I'll be back tomorrow. Team selection Tuesday with the preview. And then we're back and we're into another game week. So the next stream will be on Thursday. It's going to be a ridiculous time again, isn't it? Oh, it's Man United as well versus Villa. So I don't really want to not watch that. I'll be streaming on Thursday. I just don't know what time yet. I'll figure it out. I'll see you then. Ali Khan, thanks very much for the super chat. I better not miss that. Yeah, next stream Thursday, some point. I got to be honest, I quite like doing the streams that are straight into the next game week rather than doing 2 streams because I feel like sometimes, stuff does change like between Sunday and Thursday, but it's quite nice going straight into another game week. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Goodbye, people. I'm just hanging on, really. Why not? Bit harsh on Greenwood. It is, but he's still young. You get to learn that life is harsh. Anyway, I'm going. Thanks very much for that. Like the stream if you haven't already. Subscribe if you're new around here. What else? Go and check out Patreon. Go and check out YouTube membership. All that good stuff. See you soon. Good luck in Gameweek 34. Come on, Harry Kane.